Along with Jurgen Klopp's departure, Pep Lijnders has also left Liverpool and he's gone on to accept the managerial job of RB Salzburg. Here's how you can successfully replicate and implement his tactics into FC24. I would imagine that RB Salzburg would play a very similar system and style to that first phase of the Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp and of course Pep Lijnders. Now essentially, from the first two preseason games that I did see, I would imagine it's a 4-3-3 formation. Of course, the footage isn't that great, but quite often I would see the 4-3-3 system and shape establish itself. Now, of course, Pep Lijnders and Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, they played various different formations, a 4-2-3-1, a 3-2-4-1 system with the inverted fullback of Trent. But what I saw from those first two preseason games where they won, I think it was 3-0 and 8-1, the fullbacks weren't inverting into the midfield. It was very much you on the bylines, you're looking to run up and down at the left and the right channel, and you are looking to supply crosses into the box. And that is something that the first phase Liverpool build-up was all about, having the likes of Trent and Robertson supplying crosses and cutbacks, feeding the inside forwards and the striker with many opportunities in front of the net. And of course, along with all of that aggressive nature and, offensive outlets, comes the gegenpressing system. So I do think that it will take up a similar model to, like I say, that first team that Klopp essentially built at Liverpool, of course, with the help of the great assistant coach Pep Lijnders, now at RB Salzburg. So I do imagine that predominantly they will set up in a 4-3-3 or alternatively a 4-2-3-1, but I've gone with the 4-3-3 setup for this team. The tactical approach that Pep Lijnders would look to undertake with this team, judging it off of those first two preseason games, along with what he did with his time at Liverpool, I would imagine it would align itself very well with the gegenpressing system, looking to have the forwards play those direct balls in behind, looking to attack with a more directness, a more aggressive approach. And of course, when out of possession of the ball, looking to press high up the field, looking to implement a very high block, looking to make sure the opposition can't really establish an offensive rhythm. And there was a quote that I remember seeing whilst doing all the research for it, and Pep Lijnders actually said, you want the opposition in their half at all times. You want to keep the opposition in their half at all times. You want to keep the pressure on them, pin them back. Of course, that's not the direct quote. That's more or less the paraphrased version. That's the BSG version of what Pep Lijnders had to say. And that's why the tactical vision, I would imagine, would be more or less aligned with the gegenpressing system. Now, of course, along with that, you would want to be able to press after possession, us looking to, when you do lose the ball, press us and half the field, look to, pressurize the opposition, make sure that they don't really have time or space to really think of what they can do and can't do. And that does lead to multiple errors being created from your aggressive pressing system. Along with that, the team width as well as the team depth will be set to 85 and 65 respectively. You want to implement this man-v-man system so you can successfully implement the aggressive pressing, as well as with the the high block implemented. It can allow you to press nice and high up the field. You might be exploited every now and then if the opposition do string together some good passes with a great creative through ball over the top, maybe looking to exploit your back line. But more so, you are looking to try and pin the opposition back in their own half, making sure that you're keeping the pressure on them at all times. For Salzburg's offensive outlet and setup, the build-up player will be set to fast build-up, along with the chance creation being set to direct passing. Quite often you saw them win the ball back and play that direct ball forward into either one of the forwards or potentially one of the number 8s looking to supply the forwards with a creative pass, or maybe even out wide into the fullbacks, who will definitely be involved in the attacking outlet, which does lead me to believe that Pep Lijnders is looking to implement that first phase Liverpool style of play. But you want them to be very reactive when getting the ball back, having those runners in behind, having the players push up the field, and also looking to exploit the space in behind the opposition's backline. I do think that RB Salzburg will be playing a very frenetic brand of football in the upcoming season. Now, along with all of that, the width should be set to 80. You want to try and get those fullbacks into those wider spaces, bombing up and down the left and the right channels. And essentially what this will do is you will, on the odd occasion, because of also player instructions, you will see the left wing and the right wing combining quite nicely with the fullbacks, but more so they'll be inverted forwards, looking to attack the box and attack the space in the half spaces and essentially vacate that wider space for your fullbacks to more or less flourish in and supply crosses and cutbacks into the box for the 3 to 4 players ready and waiting in the attacking zones. Of course, you want to have the likes of Konate and Fernando in the box ready and waiting for the outlets from the wider areas of the field. And then, of course, the corners and the free kicks, as per always, will be set to 4. Progressing on now to the individual player roles and instructions, starting off at the back with the goalkeeper in Schlager, who will be set to maintaining a balanced approach for saving on crosses as well as maintain that sweeper keeper role. You are going to be playing quite a high line, so you do need a proactive and reactive goalkeeper that is ready to press up just in behind your backline and try and more or less break up any potential offensive play from the opposition that they might be looking to launch in behind your backline. And of course, with an aggressive system like this, you do need a goalkeeper that is very good at being able to play out under pressure and out of the back, looking to either fit passes either into the centre backs or alternatively further forward into the midfield or the attacking line. Onto your two centre backs of Soler as well as Pavlovic. Now, as you will see, I've left them on their base set of instructions. There's no major changes or wants needed in order to replicate what they will be able to produce for RB Salzburg in the system. Now, essentially, they do need to be able to play out from the back under pressure, either pinging those long balls into the forward line or just in behind the opposition's back line, or alternatively play it into the midfield zone. So you want to have a good ball-playing centre-back on either side of the goalkeeper. Your two fullbacks in Terzic as well as Dedic will be very important in contributing to both the offensive and defensive phases of play. But I will say this, because you will be playing with very attacking fullbacks, they don't always get back in time. So you do need to have a very proactive defensive midfielder, which we will speak about soon enough. But in terms of the instructions of your left and right back, both of them will be set to the same roles, and that will be join the attack, overlap, as well as step up. Like I mentioned, in those the first two preseason games, that's more or less what I'm going off of at this moment in time. The two fullbacks were wide all the time and looking to overlap the two, wingers, forcing them to play as inside forward. So you want to more or less replicate and recreate that role successfully, as well as you want them to be very aggressive. Of course, it's a gegenpressing system, stepping up, being aggressive and imposing towards the opposition player, not really giving them much time and space on the ball in those wider areas of the field. As you'll see here for Dedic, who I do think will flourish in this system and role, join the attack, overlap, and of course, step up. One of the key players for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side was Fabinho, looking for him to be the defensive midfielder that sat in front of the back four and broke up the play, looking for him to drift along that back line and make sure that he was trying to disturb and disrupt the opposition's play. Now, essentially, Bidstrup as well as Garner Doath, I think that's how you pronounce his name, they aren't anything like Fabinho. I think they are slightly more technically gifted. And that will be something that I think Pep Lijnders will use and adapt to his team, looking to try and have a better ball-playing centre-back, or sorry, not centre-back, central defensive midfielder. Whereas Fabinho was more of a break up the play, win the ball back, and pass it on to either a Henderson or a Wijnaldum, or maybe even a Trent Alexander-Arnold, depending on who is in and around his space. Now, essentially, for Bidstrup as well as Garner Doath, God, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm terrible at names, but for Bidstrup in this DM position, he'll be set to cut passing lanes. You also want him having that nice zonal approach, looking to try and break up the play, looking to try his best and shield that back four. Now, essentially, for the attacking support, you want him to stay back while attacking. Quite often, you will see him in those deeper spots, and you want him to collect the ball and drive further forward and look to try and string the defense to the midfield and essentially to the attack. So that is more or less something that you want him to try and fulfill. The interceptions will be set to normal, and then finally stick to position and cover the wing. Now, I do suspect that because Bidstrup, as well as the other DM, are more technically gifted, we might see a bit more of a deep line playmaker approach for this system. But for the time being, I've set it to stick to position, as I think that is what I saw in the first two preseason games and so on. So that would be the role for the DM, a very important role in this system. Onto the two number 8s of Kjaergaard as well as Glauc, and even Susic could perform in this number 8 role himself. And all three would be box-to-box players, looking to contribute on both the offensive and defensive phases of play, and at times dropping quite deep and looking to try and cement that defensive block, looking to try and break up the play alongside Bidstrup and maybe just disrupt the opposition's, offensive builder play in those midfield zones. Now, essentially, for the supports on crosses, they will be set to stay on the edge of the box. You don't really want them overlapping the front three. You want them more or less involved in the attacking play, but looking to try and make those late box runs, looking to try and crash the box, getting on the end of potentially one of those crosses or cutback situations. And because we have set players in the box to be set to 7, you will see that one of these players will be making that deeper run at times. Now, essentially, your front 5 will all be set to aggressive interceptions. You want them all pressing high up the field and making sure that the opposition can't really establish a good rhythm for their build-up play. The defensive position for your number 8 will be set to cover the wing, and this will essentially help the likes of the fullbacks out quite a bit if you do have one of the central midfielders looking to drift into those wider spaces and maybe pick up the wider runners in certain moments. As for the positioning freedom, it will be set to stick to position. You don't need them drifting wide or, having that free roaming role, more or less looking to stay in the central areas of the park and run the midfield zones. As you'll see here for Glauc, he does have the same role and instructions as well. Now, I will also say this, Glauc is seen as more of an attacking midfielder alongside Susic. So if you are more comfortable with playing in a 4-2-3-1 system, he would be the attacking midfielder, whereas Kjaergaard as well as Bidstrup would be the two defensive midfielders that would look to alternate and, bomb up the field and one stay back and all that good stuff. So Glauc as well as Susic would be the attacking players in that midfield three. Your two wingers in Forsen as well as Fernando will be very responsible in trying to attack the half spaces. Now, the defensive support for both will be set to having a basic defensive support. Quite often, you will see them mixing it up, whether they can drop a bit deeper and look to try and support the fullbacks in those wider areas, or alternatively, stay further up the field against the lesser side specifically and attack the freer space in behind. Now, we saw this with Mane and Salah quite a few times with Liverpool, having that long outlet kick from either an Alisson or a Virgil van Dijk and having them run onto it into that space. And that is more or less something and more or less the role that you will be going for with both Fernando and Forsen. Now, like I said, you want them to be able to attack the half spaces. So you want them to be able to cut inside as well as get in behind. Using their pace at the opposition's backline will be a key feature and element to the attacking style of play for this team. And essentially, it will vacate a lot of space out wide for your players such as Dedic as well as Terzic to go ahead and attack down the wider channels. But also because they will be looking to aggressively penetrate the opposition's backline, it will more or less create a lot of space in the central areas for your midfielders to go ahead and pick up the ball and have a bit more time and space to try and dictate the offensive outlets and trying to facilitate the offensive opportunities. And then, of course, aggressive interceptions will be applied as well as get into the box for the cross. You want them arcing their runs into the attacking zones, and this will also help them attack the half spaces quite nicely. As you'll see here for the left winger in Fernando, he will have the same role and instructions as well. And then finally onto the number 9, Konate, who I think scored a hat-trick, if I'm not mistaken, in the 8-1 game. I might be wrong about that, but he was a man on a mission, and he was so good at being able to penetrate and run in behind, as well as link up the play with the other midfielders or even the wingers in and around him. And he had quite a lot of fluidity. He was always looking to try and, like I say, run in behind, trying to generate space for the players in and around him. And that's why the support runs is set to a balance width, allowing him to either drift out wide or potentially stay a bit more central. Now, with this system, and because you will have a lot of players trying to cut inside and trying to penetrate those central areas with your two wider players, you will see Konate at times either drift to the left or the wider right space, as well as looking to get in behind quite a bit. Now, he does more naturally have a good physicality to him, and he can look to back into the opposition and link up the play in that, way or manner. But because you will be looking for a lot of movement up front, it is best to go ahead and set him to get in behind, as this will help him, along with the other two wider players, make those penetrative runs in behind the opposition's back line. The interceptions will be set to aggressive, and then finally, the defensive support will be set to basic. And there we go, people. That is how I would successfully implement and replicate Pep Lijnders' RB Salzburg tactics into FC24. Now, of course, I have based this off of his time at Liverpool as well as the first 2 preseason games. Who knows? Come next season, when we will be redoing his tactics for FC25, he might be playing a completely different system and a completely different style of play. But so far, this is what I have seen, this is what I have learnt, and this is probably the best way that I would replicate his tactics. So you guys will have to let me know down below in the comment section. Whilst you're there, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Also, check out the description. We have recently launched the Brom Squad Gaming Discord server, and there's a whole lot of crazy good things happening on there. We talk about FC24 tactics. We've been speaking about, Copa America and, of course, the Euros, and everything is popping off in the conversations. So if you are interested and you would like to join the Discord server, the link will be down below. Click on it, join up, and I will welcome you with open arms. Anyways, we're about to hop on into the gameplay where we will discuss the tactics in further detail, and you guys can see how the system would more or less set out for RB Salzburg. Okay, people, kicking off the gameplay versus Lask. Now, I'm pretty sure Lask recently signed Jerome Boateng. What a crazy signing that is. But anyways, we're here not to talk about Jerome Boateng or Lask. We're here to talk about the fantastic mini Liverpool system that Pep Lijnders will look to establish at RB Salzburg. Now, of course, Salzburg didn't win their league last season, and they are not in the Champions League this season. So you could say a rebuild in some way, shape, or form was very much necessary in order to try and rediscover the winning formula. Great defensive header, and it's a great goal. Wow. Okay, well, 6 minutes in, we haven't touched the ball once. Well, we have touched the ball just once, but it has led to a goal for Lask. Coming in and banging it home, Zul. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's a great cutback, or it's a great, you know what, that's poor from me, and we will look to establish a better offensive rhythm. Wow, okay, well, what a way to display the tactics off the bat. We will score goals, I can almost assure it. And we've lost the ball there. Okay, well, Lask are proving to be very tough with their play. Okay, looking to win the ball back. That's some gegenpressing system. Why did the player... Okay, well, there we go. We've won the ball back, though. Into Kjaer. Kjaergaard, my bad. Kjaergaard's put the ball in the goddamn possession of the opposition. And the players right now are all over the place. I don't know. Maybe they're nervous. Maybe they can sense the audience. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Who knows? Anyways. Good tackle. Great tackle. Good ball from Glauc. Into Konate, who has held the ball up quite nicely there. He's just going to lay it off into the fullback. Back into Konate. Plays it in there. Beautiful. Beautiful scenes. Beautiful moment here. Glauc, you've run into the opposition, you idiot. God damn it. Okay. Jovicic. Good ball recovery. Terrible pass out from the back. And Soulé. Soulé also had quite a few injury issues, so I do hope that under Pep Lijnders, we might see a rediscovered, talent with Soulé, because he can be a really good player for this team. He could be one of their massive sales in the near future. Good ball out wide to Dedic. He squares it back in to the attacker in the central areas of the box. And again, we've kept up the press here. We've kept up the, edge of the box pressure. And look at that overlap. Great ball. Fernando stings the palms of Lawal. And, well, they're kicking it long because the pressure is mounting. They know they got lucky with their first goal. They know it. I kind of like that I am a goal behind. It's a great little bit of play there from the centre-back. Plays it in there. Plays it in there. Beautiful. And look at this. Dedic attacking. Why did Dedic not attack? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Kjaergaard. God damn it, man. But as you'll see there, a similar formation formulating is more of a 2-3 or kind of a 2-3-5 with the fullbacks overlapping at times. And even if the fullbacks don't get forward, you will see one of the central midfielders breaking forward and looking to add to that offensive line. Just looking to try and overload and overwhelm the opposition in those slightly higher spaces. Now, a good ball to the winger. We do see a run here from the striker. He has made the run in behind. It is a decent ball over the top for the on-running striker who has toe poked it home. 38 minutes gone by, 1-0 to the good. Konate doing the business with that run in behind, looking to play a bit more direct with that offensive outlet, and we have eventually gone ahead and unlocked the Lask back line. They were pressing up high up the field. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of space there to go ahead and exploit. We did it. And just a little toe poke into the bottom corner. You love to goddamn see it. 1-1. The game has just turned on its goddamn head. Let's go. Press, and press some more. The best way to do it is second man pressing of Kios. Good ball. That's a brilliant ball into Dedic, the attacking fullback. Can we maybe hit that back post area? Can we? Why did Fernando not make that run? That was a great cross. That was a goddamn amazing cross. How did Fernando not make that run? I will never know. If that was Mane, you know that's in the back of the net already. Well done, Bidstrip. Well done. Just, disrupting the play. And he's let the ball roll past him there. There was a brief moment where I could have gone ahead and tried to be a bit more aggressive and assertive, and it's a great save from Schlager. Wow, Pavlovic all over the place. Also, Simic, by the way, just having a look at it, they are suggesting Simic for Forsen. That's not going to happen. In the 8-1 game, Simic was pressing like a madman. I do think that he might be a really good fit for the system. But he was pressing like a man possessed. Off of kickoff, he ended up pressing the goalkeeper who like kicked the ball straight into him, and then it ended up going for a goal, which was, I was watching it and I was like, did that just happen? So we will see quite a lot of pressing with Pep Lijnders and RB Salzburg next season at least. But Kareem Konate with the goal to tie everything up at the break. We need to improve, definitely, but so far the pressing at least has been quite good. Okay, so the stats at the break don't read in a very positive light or manner for me. And that has been down to me not really being able to execute a lot of the offensive outlets and giving the ball away very cheaply at times. 42% possession compared to their 58. Not good enough if you ask me. 2 shots to their 3. They have scored from it, and we did create the best opportunity for them with our weak defensive header that led to their goal. 0.7 expected goals compared to their 1.2. 44 passes to their 42. 10 tackles to their 3. Definitely a lot more needed in that second half if we are going to win the game versus a very good Lask, as well as if we are going to really try and replicate that Pep Lijnders system. Now, as you'll see here for the passing, a lot of vertical passes. You can see the fullbacks passing it straight and directly into the forward line. We need a bit more down at the left-hand channel with Terzic combining with Fernando. But down the right-hand side, it has been very positive. Now, as you'll see there for them, number 18 and 29 have been doing a very good job in combining frequently. 18 and 30 have been pulling the strings in the central areas of the park. And that is something that we will have to hone in on and try and break up the play. And last but not least, the defending of the side. Of course, we are looking to implement a gegenpressing system. So defense will be a key element to essentially establishing a good gegenpressing style of play. Now, you'll see there, we have won the ball back quite a lot in our own half. We've only won the ball back 4 times in their half. And that'll be something that we need to focus on a bit better. Of course, those 2 ball recoveries in their half almost led to a great goal, but then it was an offensive breakdown from me, and it wasn't very great. We've had 1 block compared to their 0, and we have intercepted the play 6 times compared to their 5. So it just shows you that we do need to try and look after the ball as best as possible, especially in the second phase or second phase of the game. Okay, we are going to be kicking things off here, and we are going to look to establish a better style of play. In the first half, it was very frenetic. It was exactly what Lask would have wanted. And also, after having a look at their formation, they are playing a 3-4-3 system. So we might be able to exploit them, specifically in the central zones. Looking just to maintain the ball here. And I will be looking to try and, not slow things down, because that's not what we want, but try and play with a bit more pizzazz. Great cutback! Oh my goodness me, it's a good interception there. Can Pavlovic do... Okay, well, Pavlovic didn't do much there. But we are looking to press. And we are looking to win the ball back nice and high up this field. Oh my god. That defender, that central midfielder has done a fantastic job at just turning both my players inside out. Okay. Soleil plays a great ball in there. Down the line into Yargard, who also needs to do a better job in trying to look after the ball. Back into Fernando. Fernando looking to chip the ball into the central area. That is the most Liverpool thing that I've seen, though. We've applied pressure. We've put a great ball into the box. We've somehow got our head to it. And because the opposition are under so much stress, they don't know what's happening. They're at 6s and 7s, and we're at 9s and 10s. And they have put the ball in their own goddamn nets. I will never forget the game. I think it was Leicester City. Yes, Wout Faes ended up winning the game for Liverpool. The Leicester City player ended up winning the game for Liverpool because of the amount of running and the amount of stress that, Leicester City were under. He ended up scoring 2 own goals. The one goal was very comedic. Trent whipped in a great cross. There was a lot of pressure on Wout Faes to try and deal with it. And the ball ended up coming off of his boots and going into the back of the net. And I was like, wow, that is crazy. And yeah, you do tend to see things like that with these aggressive systems, just looking to apply pressure to the opposition backline, and that does force multiple errors. That doesn't make sense, but that does force errors from the opposition, and we have goddamn conceded just like that. Lask are back in it, 2-2, high-scoring, high-octane game, and maybe Lask are, they are back in it, and it is very unfortunate that after we've gained a little bit of control in this game, we've then given the game back to the opposition. Dedic plays a very loose ball into the opposition player, and Soler, he will look to engage with the opposition, and they've found a way to squeeze in the pass here. And there we go. We've won it back. Well done, Bidstrup. Plays into Kjaergaard. Bidstrup making a forward run. Yeah, I do like to see it. Glauc looking to play a ball into the wider player. We will look to play it back into Glauc, and the ball has come off. Oh my god! We almost won it back right in front of the net. But goalkeeper Lawal comes up big with it. Soleil, oh my god, Soleil got bodied. Soleil's also quite tall, by the way. I think he's like, what, 6'4"? Something like that. He is a unit of a beast. And that's why I do think that under Pep Lijnders, a great ball-playing centre-back is there to be made. He is there to be made. He's great off of either the left or the right foot. He's fantastic with being able to play under pressure. Maybe his partner in Pavlovic isn't, just off of this game alone. No, I'm kidding. I am obviously the guy controlling these players. And I need to be a bit better. Yes, I understand and I know that. The pass was on there. The pass was on. Glauc, he's looking. He's drawn it out wide. Into Konate. Into Terzic. What can Terzic do here? Looking for the cutback opportunity! It's a great... Oh my god, we've got the ball back. Wow. They are getting bodies in the goddamn way. We've created some really good cutback chances here, and they are just going along with it every single time. Bidstrup going with a slightly more aggressive ball further forward, and Kjaergaard, he's in the space, and he's attacked it nicely, and we've hit the goddamn post. The overload was there. The moment, the opportunity, everything was there. They played it back to their goalkeeper. Under pressure, under stress. They've kicked it long yet again. Bidstrup, he's positioned himself very well. And as you'll see here, people, this is where the gegenpressing system comes alive. Good ball over the top. Glauc trying his best. We've won it back, though. We've lost it. Okay, never mind, never fear. And all we need is a moment of magic, and Terzic has given the ball away there. Well, he's won it back. There's 3 minutes to go. We've played a great ball into Glauc. Glauc, little turn into the winger, who's put the ball in the back of the net. Late on in this one, 3-2, end-to-end, Jurgen Klopp-esque, you might be able to say. It's a never say die attitude. It's until the very end, and we might have come out on top here. Now, we just need to defend for our lives, because somehow, some way, Laskov very good at, from those kickoff opportunities, they score their goals. But we have done a fantastic job there, working the ball, creating the stress, creating the pressure, stretching the opposition's backline, overloading down the wider areas of the field, and attacking the central spots of the goal. I mean, there were quite a few cutback opportunities that were very well blocked from their defense. So, fair play to them. But Forsen ends up with a goal nonetheless. 90th minute, basically. 90th minute. They will not score a kickoff goal. I will break legs. I will crush ankles. You will not do this to me. Ref, blow the whistle. Referee, blow the whistle. Referee, blow the goddamn whistle. I will also say, the second half we were much better, much more improved. Maybe that doesn't translate to the possession stats, but just the offensive outlet. And you guys will definitely be able to tell whilst you're watching this. The offensive outlet was a lot more fluid. It was a lot more connected in a way. The midfielders were doing their jobs. Kjaergaard in that first half versus the second half was night and day a much better player. And I mean, he could have even scored himself, so, you know. But anyways, we're going to have a look at the stats at full time. And like I had suspected, the possession stat didn't really translate to the way that we were playing. But again, it's not all about possession with this system. It's about trying to create good opportunities. And as you will see there, firstly, the pass accuracy went up to 89%. But the expected goals went up from 0.7 in that first half to 4.7 to end off the game. So we created some amazing chances, and that is exactly what you're wanting. A lot of fast-paced vertical passes, aggression, movements. Konate, Forsen, and of course Fernando were very good in that second half. A lot more passes compared to Lask in the second half as well. So very much an improved second half, and it showed on the score sheet, scoring 2 extra goals. Let's go. But yes, you guys will have to let me know down below. Do you like the mini Liverpool tactics at RB Salzburg under Pep Lijnders? Anyways, until the next time, until the next one, which will be tomorrow, I hope you guys have a smashing damn day, and I'm out of here. Peace.